What is going on, world? You are now tuned into the Bong Talk sit-down series, and I'm your host, Nappy2000. And real quick, let me put the sponsors up on the screen so you can see them real quick. Let's give a shout out to Vacay, where you can get 25% off on the website if you use my coupon code Nappy2000. And also, let's give a shout out to Bust Down Worldwide, Happy Trees, Plain Jane, Sweets, El Toro, and Shrubs. And you can also find these episodes on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And today, I have a very special guest in the building. She has a talk series called Past the Bluntness, where she talks about a variety of things. And she is all the way from Brooklyn, New York. We got Izzy absolutely in the building.
Are you gonna put in the applause track on the...
We can, just for you.
That intro needed that. Thank you. So happy to be here, linking up with my boy Nappy, without any prior notice. So I'm a little bit like, got a little bit of jittery bugs of nervousness. So don't kill me.
You nervous?
We didn't schedule this. I came here to support you. Like, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna see what you got going on. It's my first time at the studio. Very dope space, and then I'm here. But I said, "Fuck it, let's go." So
yeah,
let's have a good conversation.
We are gonna have a good conversation. So we're gonna talk about now past the bluntness, because I was on that, and I was talking about how I don't fuck with how people eat nachos. And a whole bunch of that shit's crazy as fuck to me. That shit's wild.
You know what's wild? Your preference and your perspective on it, because I've never had someone dissect, like, there is nacho etiquette. I believe that too. And if you don't know what we're talking about, definitely see his episode on Instagram at passive_bluntness_. But you were talking about how matter of fact, what's the order? Because I don't want to misspeak for you, and then we have a back and forth. So you tell the people in your own words, what was your natural etiquette that you had that you were so dying to speak about on my podcast? You're
a natural interviewer because now you're asking me a question and I'm about to answer it. So I'm about to answer it though. When eating nachos, y'all, you have to know you can't just put your dirty ass fingers in the middle of the nachos where all the cheese is at. You have to work your way around. No matter if the chip has no cheese on it, no condiment or whatever, you must take your time and work your way around the edges and slowly get to the center where everything is, like the cheese, whatever you got. But you must take your time. Like it literally like irks my fucking soul when somebody just puts their hand in the middle and just rips all the cheese off. Like, what's the point of eating it if you just ate the best part?
I got you. There's nothing wrong with that, but actually I think it's the way that you said it in the episode, because I feel like you're remixing it right now, and I haven't seen it since I released it last year, so I can't confirm or deny, but I feel like you taking the more like normal stance on eating nachos. I don't think anything that you said right now is wild.
What, eating from the outside in?
No. The way about, like, one, not having your hands being dirty, like, that's a given. But having some type of order without just being all sloppy and grabbing nachos from all over the place and then taking all the cheese, right?
You would be surprised. You would be fucking surprised. People, it's a rare breed of people where they literally get the nacho with no cheese on it. They'll literally just get the cheesiest nacho. It's crazy. It's insane, actually. Okay. It's actually insane. But what's the premise of Past the Bluntness, though?
So, Past the Bluntness, my little baby child, it's a comically uncensored talk series which was created to have blunt conversations about relatable topics and situations of all different kinds. The general census, which you'll find if you were to look at the media, is that it's very focused on, like, the perspective from the first person within the Black community, and I'm very strategic about having episode topics and questions that I ask people that are off the top of the dome and very genuine, to get their natural response, and then we can have like not only like the same conversation, so it's one-sided, but you have a contrast of people who have other ideas about common topics, so then we can get this larger conversation going on within the community to like make topics that are maybe like taboo or like not the most comfortable to have in certain spaces, or just funny shit where it's like, nah, nigga, I still disagree because I'm on this side. All of that can live in the underneath the conversations of Past the Bluntness.
You're like the liaison of everyone's thoughts in the community.
That's what I kind of want to do in like in an uncensored and comical way, without like having to do skits, which skits are fine. Like, you know, we all are fans of that type of media, and people have done really well with making those kind of points through retell of stories. But I really want mine to be from like a space of just general conversation, because I don't know, I flipped it on you interviewer style. Like I kind of have a natural gift of making people feel comfortable exposing themselves, but not in a fucked up or manipulative way, but it's like, nah, I need you to really say how you feel. Regardless, I'm not judging you, because I need to bring this to be a part of the data, to be a part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of my favorite episodes, because I feel like you would ask that and maybe somebody, but it was episode 2 that I shot myself when I went back to Brooklyn 3 or 4 summers ago, and it's what's the difference between a nigga and a man. And I couldn't have picked a better city. Shout out to all my people back home in New York City, Brooklyn in the building. Brooklyn in the spot, don't make it hot, as we say. But so I went back home because I knew I was gonna get the most authentic, raw answers. And I asked friends, I asked people coming out of parties, and I also asked men and women, because the whole premise of that, without going too deep, is that I feel like there's a two-sided connotation with the word nigga, and like some people feel like, oh, you know, not even so much on the space of is this something that we should say versus our history versus the world, but between our community, it has two folds. Like when a girl be like, yo, I'm sick of this nigga, we know what the fuck that mean. It don't mean, oh, this is something positive. You know what I'm saying? So we're in those spaces where two things can be true at the same time, and how can they be different? And a lot of the guys were kind of like, I feel like it's, you know, when you trying to do right, but when you're trying to do right, but you're not, but you know better type shit. And then somewhere like it's just a space of complacency, and I'm like, damn, like y'all really like digging down. And then when I ask women about it, unfortunately, in our community, Black women, because it was a conversation between Black people that I had, they had so much emotion about it, from like heartbreak and disappointment, and like niggas is going lie. This one girl went crazy. I was leaving this party in Brooklyn. She was like, niggas going to lie and cheat and say they gonna give you back your money, and then they don't, and then they fucking block you. I was like, ma'am,
that happened to her last week.
Huh?
That happened to her last week, probably.
I don't know.
That was recent.
But it was the contrast in comparison between the word and just having. Anyway, clearly I'm passionate about it. But
I
those
hope
are the
she's
kind
okay
of conversations. Too. But then we still could laugh at it, because one of my homegirls was like, I feel like a nigga is just anybody. Like Barack Obama, that's my nigga. Like, you see what I'm saying? So.
Or
anyway.
like never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. That's what the Black Panthers used the word nigga as, or just, you know, just people using it as a more positive way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you want to break it down like that, but that's another story.
Yeah, that is another story.
That's another story.
But yeah, so common shit, relevant, evergreen, like really trying to keep evergreen conversations. But yeah, that's that on that.
I love how too on your content, you keep it very authentic. You keep it, even though you're not in New York right now, you keep it very Brooklyn. You keep it. It's always there. It's always in your heart. So does that naturally come out, or is that just something intentional that you want? You always kind of want to let people know yo, this is where I'm from. This is where it came from, and this is where it's always gonna be from.
What past the bluntness or like
Just
who I am as a person?
everything in the whole, because past the bluntness is you.
Um, well, no, like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just something that's just extremely genuine. Like
Mm-hmm.
I born and raised in Brooklyn, like I'm Jamaican and Panamanian, but like even with that, like I lived in Atlanta before I lived here. So I haven't been living in New York for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But most people wouldn't be able to tell that, but how I talk or whatever the mannerisms. It's so much in my blood. It's just what it is. And I go home every summer and I kick it with my people and I feel like I get
Right.
like re-energized in the New Yorkness that keeps me going for another 11 months.
Right.
But
right.
but no, like I can't hide it. So it's like me being like almost you asking me. So when you go into spaces, sometimes you like squat down. So it's like, nah, nigga, I'm tall. Like, and that's what it's gonna be. So it's to me, it's on the same level. Like you're gonna find out whether you fuck around or not, just because it is who my personality is.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I'm very proud New Yorker, and I'm very
I don't think there's a New Yorker that isn't proud.
no, exactly.
To be totally real.
So yes,
I got cousins from New York. All of y'all love that shit.
Yeah.
I can't play no West Coast music around.
Not all day.
Like, yeah, like y'all be like, yo, why you playing like DJ Quick? Like, put on some Jay-Z or I'm like, bro, what? It's okay though. I fuck with y'all.
No, yeah. I don't even know really where we get that shit from, to be honest. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what it's almost like they teach that to us in school and we didn't even realize it. I don't know. It's like it is what it is. Like unless you're from a part of New York where you can't rep it, then you're more humble about it. You're just like, yeah, I'm from New York.
What sections do people feel insecure about not to rep like that?
In New York City?
Yeah.
Well,
if you want to say those, if you want to shout those cities out, no diss to those cities at all.
No, but
I'm just curious.
But like, it really is New York City and then New York State. So if you fall in any other area outside of New York City, y'all are on one separate bus going a lot slower and like litness. And it's cool. Like I used to go to school upstate, so I know. Like I could talk about it because I actually lived up there for a little bit with school. Shout out to Buffalo State. But in New York City per se in itself, like it depends how deep we're talking about in Queens. Like if you out in the areas where there's absolutely no transportation, like super suburban areas, like you're not about to talk about that. You're just like for Queens. Period. You don't want to go no further because it's gonna be like nigga from White Hill, Queens, like what? So
right.
I just made that shit up. I don't even know Queens. Like Queens is a very big borough, and a lot of people like it's so much residency suburbia that's a part of Queens as a massive that we don't really know all the areas.
Mm-hmm.
But except like the hood and shit, like Hollis and Jamaica and Center and shit like that.
I got family in Brooklyn. I got family in Flatbush. I got family in was it Brownsville?
It is Brownsville.
Yeah, I got family in Brownsville. I got family in is there a Bushwick out there?
There's a Bushwick,
I got Bushwick. I got family out there. I think I got family in like that entire.
You have a big family or they move around a lot?
Nah,
talk about
like
it.
The funny thing is, I don't know. Being from New York, I don't know if you know, but I feel like I know for real. I don't know. I feel like North Carolina and New York have a real connection.
North Carolina?
I promise you, if you go around Brooklyn or you go certain places, you ask someone where they're from, they'll be like, I am from North Carolina. There are so many North Carolina transplants that go to like that Brooklyn area because the flight's only an hour away.
Yeah.
So I have dummy family in New York that have came from like North Carolina from like 60s, 70s, and the 80s. So
that's crazy.
A lot of them transplant out there.
A homegirl that moved to North Carolina from Brooklyn when we was in high school, and she fucking hated it.
Yeah, it's vice versa. Either people are going or coming. I don't know why, but those two just have like a relative to it. But I
don't think I've ever met anybody from North Carolina in New York.
Not yet.
I'm 100 years old. That's not never.
Nah.
But nah, I didn't know that. If you know about that, leave the comment in the chat.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's hella North Carolina people in New. I promise you.
I don't put it past them.
I
I
promise
don't put it
you.
past nobody.
I mean, no diss to North Carolina. I mean, it's a little slower out there.
Yeah.
So the city is not too far. Take an hour flight to New York. Just live out there. North Carolina's cool though. I appreciate it. It's trees and all that. It's peaceful.
What part?
It's a really, really small town.
Damn.
It's a really small town.
Please tell me and give me a funny story, because this sounds rural as fuck.
It's rural. It's probably 3,000 people.
3,000? Ew.
Yeah.
You lived in a village, nigga.
There's like 3,000.
That is a fucking
people.
small 2 huts.
Like that's not for real. Like there's like 3,000 people probably in that one, and then the other one.
And these are 3,000 only black folks?
There's like some white folks sprinkled in there.
Okay.
And there's some Mexican people there too.
But 3,000 in total.
Yeah, because me and my family have we have like a house and land out there that we own, and I know there's Mexican people out there because when I was out there I heard like I heard some music and it was in Spanish and I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, where the fuck is that coming? And I'm in like you don't hear that out there like that. And I was like, what the fuck? And
I can only imagine.
And they were building a house.
Being that you told me 3,000, I'm like, yeah, I would be startled if I was even visiting and heard that over there.
They were building a whole ass house. Well, they were fixing our house on the left hand side. I was like, oh,
3,000. What was that like?
I'm not from
because you keep
there.
saying it like, yeah, like 3.
Well, I'm
just
not
underneath.
from there. My family is. My family is, but my grandpa left when he was like 18 though, and went to the Air Force and traveled around. So he said right when he was able to leave, bro. Everyone when they have a chance to leave,
it's 3,000 people
you know
that live there.
Mm-hmm. But like that's where my family is from, and then Greenville, Charlotte, Winston-Salem. Raleigh, Durham.
You have a big family because every time you talk about them and areas, you name literally every fucking town and city in that whole state.
It's pretty much anywhere on the East Coast and the South.
Yeah, you just showing your geography skills. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like the West Coast we're the only ones from the West Coast. So, but the thing is, people think I'm from that area.
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you definitely strike me as West Coast energy for sure. And we could discuss that if you want, because I feel like now people are going to be like, what the fuck does that mean? But yeah.
We'll discuss it for people that don't know. For people at home that may not be savvy to what you just said.
And this is all perspective, right?
Yeah, it's all perspective.
In my opinion, before I get canceled, nah, what do you think it is? Why do you think that people say that?
That I'm from the East Coast, maybe?
No, that you said that people think you're from the West Coast.
No, people think it's weird. People from the West Coast think I'm from the East Coast. People from the East Coast think I'm from the West Coast.
That's the problem right there. They don't know what's going on.
They don't. It's the funniest thing. They can't. And then some people from the South think I'm from an island. I don't know why the fuck people think I'm from an island. I don't look
what you
like
be
I'm...
wearing?
This. The fuck? I be wearing clothes. Be wearing normal clothes. They'll be like, yo, you from like an island somewhere?
Not talking to you like you were shooting a star.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. People don't know what I am. They don't. They don't know if I'm African. They don't know if I'm whatever.
I mean, do you even know who you are?
Of course.
Okay. And you are?
I am black and I am Mexican.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I am.
Please, no.
My pops is Mexican.
Don't. I'm having this fucking aha, honey, like hilarious moment because
I have a whole Mexican
family. You told me the story about this when we was hanging out like a couple months ago, and we was high just like now. I don't know what edibles this man gave me like 3 hours ago, but I'm still lifted right now, and I don't appreciate it because I feel like It's not greatly appreciated. But anyway, you told me the story about your Mexican family and how like you grew up like in the whole Mexican culture, like legit. And I was looking at your black ass like, what? You was doing what with whom?
Yeah, like the funny thing is,
That's crazy.
when I eat food, the first thing to make is like, oh, I'm gonna get like Mexican food. Like I'm gonna make like some tacos. I'm gonna make a burrito.
That's cute.
Tostada. Some soy chorizo because I don't eat beef or pork, none of that shit. So soy chorizo.
Man, cancel it.
You know, some shit like that. Like like my first thing when I go out, I'm like, I'm gonna make Mexican food. It's not like, you know, like soul food or no shit like that. Cause I grew up on like chorizo and menudo and pozole and all that, like literally all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting when I tell people, because I fuck people up and then I tell people my name, my real name,
Right.
and then
Wait,
they're
don't
like, your
tell
name
me-
ain't DeAndre or some shit like
Wait,
that.
Yeah.
My whole, I'm not
I
gonna
feel
tell.
like you told me your full name. Do
my
they
full,
know?
my full name is. Should I say my full name on
Are
here?
you going to tell them?
I should say I can say my full
I mean,
name.
I guess.
My full name is Luke Omar Saucedo. Luke Omar Saucedo. Luc Omar and then Saucedo. That's the full name.
Yeah.
That's the full
You're definitely
name.
going to be very, like, successful. That's a very successful last name. Like, your name sounds like, oh, yeah, the man from science, like, yeah, or something. Like,
So the man from the nigga from history class and shit. That's funny. That's wild.
from chapter 13. Yeah, that nigga was cool. He was cool.
Yeah. That's the full name. But no, it's interesting. Yeah, people don't know what I am, but that's fine.
That's dope.
I'm a human being. At the end of the day, we're all human
Yes,
beings.
we are.
That's
Yes,
it.
we are. That's today's message. We are human beings.
We're human beings, and we're talking about being from Brooklyn.
Okay.
And you also talk about how there's this myth on
Terrible
Brooklyn.
myth.
Excuse me.
It's a dark, demented, twisted.
A demented,
Twisted.
catastrophic,
Yes.
insidious,
Yes. Bombastic.
horrific,
Mm-hmm.
bamboozled.
Mhm.
We were run amok.
Mm-hmm. Don't say terrifying.
I don't doubt it. I really do not doubt it. It is that you guys are just mean. You're fucking mean, and you're rude, and you just eat pizza all day. I'm playing.
We dead ass eat pizza all day. I love me some pizza.
And those hot dogs on the fucking. They still do.
Yeah, no, we don't get the hot dogs from there. Once there was like a major news story that caught this man taking a piss in the water, we stopped.
In the hot dog water?
Yeah. If you think about it, which when we saw the news story, New York news is very raw. I feel like the shit that I seen when I was a kid, when I told people about it, they'd be like, what the fuck? Either it's what the fuck happened there or how the fuck y'all know. But it's like, I don't know. That's just the environment we grew up in. But there was a guy in like the city with those hot dog joints, like all the ones over there, and somebody took a picture of him. And he was fucking pissing in the water that they boil the hot dogs in. And then we kind of thought of, like, first we were outraged. We felt the same way that you are looking like, and everybody that's watching this and listening as well. And then we thought, but then when you really think about it, is who leaves them with their cart? Who do they leave their cart with?
Where did that hot dog person go?
Exactly.
That is a great question.
Where did he go?
Because it's only one fucking little thing.
And they work by themselves.
Maybe he had to go pee.
When he pissed in the water?
No, maybe the hot dog person had to go pee.
No.
And they left.
No, you never see two of them. Because then if that was the case, at some point, you would see some niggas talk like, yeah, the money's in the back. Like something. You would never see two of them doing nothing. They pee in the water. We were mad. We were outraged. But then we thought about it, and we were like, oh, yeah, them niggas peed in the water because where else they going to go use the bathroom? And if they have to shit or something more severe,
They got
just
the
gonna
fucking,
take it home.
they can go on the sidewalk. The fuck
But
they
that's
need
a
to
sale, depending where you at though.
No.
In some areas, you can't leave your stand alone.
That's
And
very
some areas there's so much foot traffic that if you left your stand alone, you're gonna come back and all your fucking sodas and juices and chips are gonna be gone.
Do you know how fucked up you have to be to look at a hot dog stand
Bro.
and
Well, first
it's a
of all,
process. You
first
gotta
of all,
you gotta
there's-
look at it. You gotta lift the shit up.
What you talking about? Taking your dick out?
Pissing in the fucking hot dog water.
Nigga, what? Dude, there's so many people doing wild shit that everybody's just catching wild shit. It's very like
I've seen in New York a person take a shit in like the
name it.
in the what is it thing where they put the water where they mop it.
Put it with water in mop it.
Yeah, like the little
Oh, the mop bucket?
the mop bucket.
Put the water in the thing that they mop.
I'm sorry, I'm high. I'm
Lord.
high right. I couldn't think of it right
It's
now.
okay.
It's
It's
the mop.
okay.
The mop
I
bucket. He
had
took
moments.
a shit in the mop bucket. I seen that in New York.
Where was the mop bucket at?
The person left it unattended.
What, in a school? In the
It was
train?
in a train station, like in the train, and the person walked away, and then like a person just they didn't have anywhere else to go. They saw some water, and they took advantage of the water, just like the person did with the hot dog water. But I don't understand what makes you lift up a fucking hot dog vendor's thing and piss in it. That makes absolutely no sense. I understand that people have to go pee, but you can go on the sidewalk. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I wish you were our governor too, but that's just not how the fucking cookie
I couldn't be
crumbles,
no
but-
fucking governor. That'd be fucking crazy. They
But-
would try to kill me if I was the governor. I would say some wild shit.
No, for sure.
I
You wouldn't
would.
Get that far.
I would expose them the first day. I really would.
What would you say?
I don't even want to talk about it on here. I would talk about some crazy shit. I just saw it today, actually. I was reading about it. I'm like, this shit's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If you all want to look up what I'm talking about, look at where the fires are coming from, specifically in New York City. That's all I'm going to say. Just look where they're coming from. But why the fuck are New Yorkers so mean?
Oh, child, I done forgot what the first conversation.
That was the original question, and then somehow we got into do pissing in hot dog water.
And I was like, this is what the hot dog people do. We're not mean. And this is gonna always sound biased, and my accent is only gonna make it more biased, sir. But New York City people are truly the sweetest, most genuine, most like authentically honest people. And even the fucked up people, because there's fucked up people in New York. I'm not trying to say we out there passing out lilies just being so fantastic, but the fucked up people, you know you fucked up. It's like you so raw in your fucked upness. It's like either I could take it or I could leave it, or we can like have a issue about it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like almost everywhere else in America, they have adopted this colonial perspective of personality, like of being nice nasty. And that nice Nancy shit is a fucking psychological pandemic, because most people, especially like in LA, I've found, and even in Atlanta, because I lived in Atlanta too, people will be like, they will come off like they're so genuine, like, oh my God, hey yo.
No one saw that. No one saw that at all. That shit almost knocked me out.
Now I look like I'm speaking. He got some water and then came back and then hit the mic and then hit him in his mouth and bounced
broke my
off.
nose.
That shit bounced right off.
That shit's crazy.
Whoa. Okay. Anyway,
My nose is not
but,
broken. We're good.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. That shit was crazy.
Somebody call
You have some heavy ass microphones. Jerry, I almost broke my fucking nose. But people chip their tooth on microphones all the time, so I'm not really surprised. I almost broke my fucking nose right now.
But you know what? Shout out to you, because you carried yourself so smooth. Like, that shit bounced off your fucking nose. And you just like, you just wiped it like, And I'm looking dead at you like, nah, nigga, that's going to have a moment. It's going to be right here, right now. But no, back to New York people. But yeah, so the nice Nancy shit. So like a lot of people have this thought process that if I pretend to be nice, then I can get more positive things to my life, but really you're not a nice person. Like, you have a lot of nasty, just just really bad and just ugly motives towards things, and you're very manipulative. Where New York people, like, if we're gonna manipulate you, we trying to take your entire family out. Like, we don't. One thing I could say, like, we don't waste our time on a lot of like petty bullshit. If it's really something that we need to have a conversation about, men and women both have the same perspective. That's why women come off as whatever, not nice things, aggressive, whatever. But like, we're gonna let you know, like, hey, you're fucking up, and this is how I feel about that.
You're like, hey, you
You're
sound like a real dude. Hey, you're fucking up.
You're fucking up, G. You're fucking up. Like, and we're gonna talk about it. And that's even across work.
That's
Like,
funny.
your management will talk to you like as an employee. Where like in other cities they do this. We've been evaluating.
So that
you.
Peter Parker Spider-Man shit is real. How like Jonah Jameson be talking to him all rude and shit.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Have you ever seen a happy-go-lucky and boss in a New York type of space?
Happy-go-lucky?
Yeah, like a boss in a movie or a sitcom where the boss was like hella fucking nice and happy.
No.
Exactly.
Maybe. No.
And
no,
if they
no,
did,
no,
it's
no,
on some
no.
funny shit because we don't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
I'm about to say no.
So like, yeah, that's just the culture. But because of that, like, if you get wronged or you feel like you were done wrong, you really had some shit going on. Like, we have this thing that we say, like, if you get murdered, this is so fucking terrible. But shout out to Brooklyn, New York, yeah, I love you.
I need to hear what you're about to say. Continue this saying.
It's a thing that we learn really early. I don't know who teaches us this, and I didn't grow up in like the fucking streets, like fighting every song. Even though I got my share of fights, but I wasn't like it. It's it's more grimier activities that would happen. I fucking danced and shit. Like, my mother tried to keep me away from what I would have been able to get involved in. But anyway, we say, learning from really young, that if somebody dies with their eyes open, that they deserved it type shit. And it's like, I mean, we've all heard it eventually, but it's like something that's like very like, oh, okay. So then we just get very desensitized to certain levels of violence. And then it's like, oh, whatever. Then you get away from it for a while and you're like, nigga, that shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is my neighborhood known for the most fucking summertime shootouts in 10 years in a row? Like, why is that a thing?
Being from the Inland Empire, look up San Bernardino and then come back to me.
I heard that there's some spots out there that gets really fucking crazy.
It's a beautiful place.
Like
it's a beautiful place.
Like, it gets like, y'all out there, but then y'all be on that spooky time shit, and then y'all be popping up.
It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, but it can get a little rough in certain areas. But
what do you think the roughness is about? Because you correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm just gonna give you a perspective so that you could really like expand upon how your perspective of it all. But being if you live all the way that far out, you had to get out there by some kind of motor vehicle or something like that. Mm-hmm. Are there buses or trains that go out there?
There's trains, there's buses, there's
okay.
Yeah. But
if you get out there and you're like living, for example, like you're able to have whatever to how do I want to break this out? Because I don't want to sound mad crazy to you. See, New York people, we think about what we say because we don't want to offend anybody. Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm just gonna have you answer to me. Why does shit get crazy out there? Like, what y'all getting crazy about?
I don't know. I think I asked that about, honestly, a lot of places. I just think sometimes
boredom.
Sometimes it's conditioning and like what they've seen their whole life, or maybe family, or boredom, or just that feeling of I'm not getting out of this place and I don't really have much else to do. And then not having much else to do, you go into other resources and different things like that. I mean, it's like that in like the small town I'm from. Like, you don't.
The 3,000?
Yeah, like where my family's from, like there's not much to do. So
there's gangs in that town?
I mean, I seen a kid walk down with a whole extendo clip going about to beat up somebody because he beat up his little brother.
In the 3,000 towns.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
wow.
Listen to the song by DJ Quick, Just Like Compton. He pretty much names a bunch of random towns that he went on tour with, and he just names different scenarios that happen in that town.
Bananas.
It's every place has that same energy.
Mm.
It's I is it us? I don't know.
Mm.
But it's a very interesting thing, but it's it's no different from any other place that has that same type of situation or energy.
Right.
It's just about, I think, having better resources in those areas to
Mhm.
provide,
Mhm.
letting people know that there is light in those communities, that there is people that do care, like this woman right here, Ray. She is a very,
Oh, my bestie.
she's a huge light in that
Yes.
San Bernardino community, because that community needs people like that show that, hey, we care, and there's more that you can do with your energy and your light than all these other things that you may
I love
see.
it.
So I think it can change, but I think that's like everywhere. If there's no resources and there's nothing to do, what else do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, you make a valid point. It kind of reminds me, like, my cousin is also out here. He's from East New York, which is just outside of Brownsville, where I'm from. And we used to joke all the time when we first got out here, like when we drove around, like the hood in LA and shit like that, and we see the palm trees and how nostalgic driving around the black neighborhoods are, because they really filmed it for reality, and then nothing ever changed, so that shit looked like 98 in certain areas.
It do.
But we were just like, it's so, like, in the grand schemes of all of these houses being owned by black people with a lawn and a palm tree, it was like niggas was out getting killed on manicured lawns.
Yes.
Like, when we thought about it, like, we kind of like teased LA about it, but it was like,
Someone got killed yesterday. You know
like,
what I mean?
that's wild. Like, the street, like, the fucking, the whole atmosphere, like, the skyline is so pretty. Like, you got mountains. Like, it's so nice. And it's like, y'all out here gangbangs underneath a rainbow. Like, not to say y'all not sweet or nothing like that, but it's just like, damn, because the environment in New York is completely different looking. So in our minds, like, growing up is like, okay, this shit is violent and it's wild because look at the environment that we are succumbed to, because the shit is bullshit everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
California is very different. Do not come out here
No,
thinking shit is sweet.
I'm not, and I
I'm not
just
saying
said,
you. I'm not
and I
saying
was
you
just
are.
saying, shit not, I'm
Because
not saying
people,
shit
like you
sweet,
said, people
but
will
I'm just
see
saying
it,
that I'm like,
but shit is not. It can get a little tricky.
which is why I know we all know that. I don't think that there's anybody that's over 5 years old that doesn't know that. But when we were just tripping about, like, how the environment looks and shit was still getting crazy, you know what I'm saying?
It's a trip.
That's
it's a
what
trip.
that's what we're tripping about.
They're trying to gentrify it now.
Yeah, I know.
They're trying, but you know what? They are.
I'm like,
Unfortunately,
yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they're
it's-
succeeding in many areas.
it's a trip. It's a trip. It's a trip. People being like, "Oh yeah, I live in Watts, California," and this. I'm like, huh? You live in Watts, California, and then you see like it's crazy what they're trying to do.
Yeah, what they're doing, like, as soon as commercial businesses get up in there and they start opening resources that are particular for that demographic of shoppers, the shoppers come next, the people come next. Like, you plant the little seed out. That's why when you see a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or any of them fucking bougie papas ass places, you know white folks are coming. They don't put them shits in them neighborhoods to be like, all right, black people, here's some better produce.
If
No,
you got a Whole Foods in your area,
that's it.
that's a little top. That's top tier.
Yeah,
That's top tier area
know
for
who's
sure.
Coming.
Because Whole Foods ain't everywhere.
They're not. They're not. They're not.
They're very specific
Very
places.
specific. Same thing like Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is not everywhere either.
No, it's not. But it's more places than.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see Trader Joe's and Sprouts more frequently than a Whole Foods.
I don't feel like I see Sprouts like that.
You don't see Sprouts like that?
Mm-mm.
No?
I feel like the only Sprouts I've really seen for real is like that East Hollywood area, like underneath Silver Lake. Kind of like in the area where I'm from.
They made one in Mobile, low key by the hood. That's why.
They got a what?
They made like a Sprouts low key, like by the hood and like in the Merino Valley area.
Oh, I was like,
kind of like in the hood area. Like they made a Sprouts over there.
And then you'll see.
But I'm like, they should have made something like that. Like,
I mean,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
Like, why fucking stop at Fufu Less every fucking day?
You
Put a
know
Sprouts
why.
there. I know why, but
I mean,
damn it, put a fucking Sprouts there.
donate one. Shit.
Hey, they did.
Well, no, it's not donated. It's strategically placed on some Monopoly shit.
Yeah, but it's close by. It's next to a KFC. Yeah, but shouts out to this though. You were talking about the new American dream is leaving
Nice.
America.
That was really good.
What was really good?
Your segue.
Oh, really?
I'm proud of you. Like,
Oh,
that
wow.
You did that. I didn't know. I stopped looking at the notes because I'm just in the conversation. But you're always thinking ahead. Shout out to you. You make it look easy with a bong on your lap. You about to go shoot off out the ceiling and shit. All right. Back to the topic.
Back to the topic, but I gotta take a bong here. I haven't taken one this whole conversation.
Okay, go.
Stay tuned, everybody. This is Bong Talk. I'm Nappy 2000. We'll be right back.
Crafted from the fires of dragons, chilled on the highest peaks of Everest, the Canagard is designed for perfection, using only the freshest herbs our planet has to offer, cultivated by years of experience. El Toro Verde, crisp, rich draw, slow resin burn. Be bold, be elegant, be the bull. El Toro Verde, you should be smoking.
Are you a good swimmer?
Am I a good swimmer?
Mm-hmm. You can't swim.
Is that because I'm black? You saying I can't swim?
No, you're taking a long time. Like it's a three choice answer. Like
So, what was the purpose of you asking me, am I a good swimmer?
just for the truth. What's the problem?
Oh, this is like a genuine question. You want to know if I'm a good
Yes,
swimmer?
I'm a genuine person. New York people. You see what I'm talking about? Like you think I'm trying to be funny with it?
No, I was just
I
genuinely.
really want to know. Can you generally swim?
I can swim.
Okay,
I
you're a
can.
good swimmer.
I don't know. I haven't really like tested my.
What? So you fake got a certificate?
No, I got that when I was like 6.
So how do you fake swim? Either you could do
Like
it.
I don't know. Like I can swim. I can swim around.
So why the hesitance? See
2.
the question.
I was just curious about why you were asking me, am I a good swimmer? I just didn't know that was going to be your next question to ask me.
Because, well, I did have a little bit of background feeling towards it, but the way that you hit the bong, I was like, you have very strong lungs, and usually strong swimmers have strong lungs.
I mean, look at Michael Phelps. They took away his medals because he hit a bong. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
Actually, I did hear. I was like,
They took his medals away because he hit a bong. And bro has
yeah.
how many medals does he have? Like 10?
Yeah, I did hear about that. That was very sad for that white man.
I mean, I guess.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
I
I don't give a fuck.
I guess so.
I mean, that people taking your money away is always a bad thing. We don't endorse people getting their money taken away, but that's why I was like,
I can
okay.
I can take a bong hit and run a mile. Easy. I do that. That's like before I work out, I run a half a mile or a mile. So before that, I'll take a bong hit and then I'll just run a half a mile or a mile.
That's crazy. I can't.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is wild. I can't hit a blunt too hard and fucking be able to finish an email. So that's you're impressive. Like I don't even play with it, and you doing all of that. Like the last time, I think this was probably the only, maybe twice. I don't think I've hit a bong more than twice, but for sure 2 times. But the first time I actually hit one, and I was playing with it, and people were all bong smokers because usually if you have one, you not playing with it. And they taught me how to do it or whatever. I did it, and I danced for 1 hour straight. Deadass. They were playing like music, like YouTube hip hop mix, and I'm a dancer, like I told you when I was a kid. I danced for 1 hour straight, and they were like, "Wow!" I couldn't stop. I never touched that shit again.
This is very this is like 2 feet tall. Well, not 2 feet, but this is like this isn't your
It's
average.
too big.
Yeah, it's not your. This is not your average.
No,
This is
that
not
needs
your
to have
average
like
size.
a age like minimum on it.
Yeah, I mean, my homies introduced me to bongs. Like, I'm not gonna say the
When?
specific grade.
So tell me what. Tell me how old you
High
were.
school, high school,
Early or late?
the middle.
Junior year.
Yeah,
I know. I'm a psychic.
sophomore. Yeah, now I'm gonna say it. Now that we're talking about sophomore, junior year, I got introduced to a bong. It was
Where were you at? Tell me because that's really young for
Is it
for an island boy.
for island?
No.
Oh my goodness
Oh my
gracious!
No, if you were really an island boy, you probably would hit that shit. No, I don't. Definitely smoking weed. I don't know so much about smoking bong, so yeah.
No,
But go ahead. So where were you at? What was the day? Why did
I-
you feel like you needed to do this?
I didn't. I don't know. My homie just had it. It was a Dead Mouse one. You know the artist Dead Mouse?
Mm,
It was like
I
a.
don't know what that is. No,
You're like, mm-hmm. They don't. You really just said you. Yes, that's funny.
no, I'm fucking with you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you do you. Yes or no? You know.
yes.
You know the logo. It was just on a bong.
Okay.
And the bro just wanted me to hit it. Like pause. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But I said pause. But
It's a little late though. So
cause I was talking. This is like you've seen that Cameron and May show. This ain't the gotta say pause after every fucking thing I say. Gotta be fucking. I gotta
Yo,
be careful.
These edibles,
Gotta be
shout them out.
fucking
Like
careful.
Even though this is a funny conversation, but these edibles are taking
Can you
me.
pass me one of those, please?
Like, please, somebody. I need someone to test these shits.
Just give me. Yeah, give
Let's
me.
send this to Dr.
Yeah.
Versace. Dr. Fauci. Dr. Versace.
Dr. Fauci, that guy.
Yeah, he needs somebody from his
So, once again, shouts out to Vacay.
Yo,
A classy high.
vacay is definitely. how to
Shouts
make
out
you
to my
feel.
man Chris, all the way out in the Tampa, Florida, Clearwater, Florida area. I appreciate you for, you know,
Everything. Like,
just vibing with me, believing in the podcast. The guests are loving the apparently
I don't know if love.
these
Love is strong. Wait,
these
I
things
tested.
apparently these premium Delta 8 CBG
Need
infused
to be cutting
gummies
apes.
need to. She says they need to be cut in apes, but I don't think so.
Me and my new best friend
I don't
that I
think
met
so.
today, who was shooting, she
I
also
don't
took one,
think
and we both
so.
feel the same. And you smoke, right? She smokes. I'm not a heavy. I'm a social smoker.
Oh yeah, you do. She does. Oh damn.
So you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So you got someone that's like medium light.
Well, Jerry, you take it. You try some.
and then give it like
And then you
20
And then
minutes?
you let us
yeah,
know.
20, 30 minutes.
Because if he gets high off of it, cause I haven't even. I take him seldomly, but let me know if he gets high off of them.
What color you took? I don't think it matters. But what color?
It don't
I
matter
took the
what the
green one, too.
color is.
See, don't do both though. We gotta make sure we close this out.
Man, that's crazy.
No shit should not be legal. Like
They're very much legal in
no, we gotta do some samples in a petri dish. That shit.
Well,
got-
there's 2 of them.
And it needs to be, you know what? When I was talking to my best friend on the phone about these shits when I went to McDonald's, I was like, that's how you know this shit is crazy because it's only 2. And usually gummies give you more quantities. So if they're only packaging 2, it's crazy. 1 is crazy. 1 is crazy if you do the math mathematically.
Well, take that.
What's that?
It's the whole jar.
Take it for what?
Just take it with you.
Oh, okay. I was going to clean up anyway, so don't worry about it.
So yeah, I smoked a bong in high school.
Oh, yeah. Where were you?
I was just with my homies, black homies, not no white people with the bong, black people with the bong.
How black were they?
Stop it. They were my color. They were my skin tone. That's all that matters.
Did they have a perm?
No.
Okay.
They had an afro and a fade.
All right.
Yeah, one of my homies was a
Did they
dub,
wear- did
and
they
my
wear
my,
hand
my homie was a
stockings?
dubstep DJ at the time, going
Okay.
crazy.
Gangster.
They was going to raves when that shit wasn't even popping like that.
To raves?
Yeah, like there was a point where like it was like I feel like it wasn't like a popular thing. It was more so slightly an underground thing, but it was like if you knew about it, you would go. They were like the first ones to. Funny enough, they're the first ones to, like put me on like that type shit.
I can see why they had the bongs. Okay, go ahead. So where are you?
That was just in their Jeep. In the Jeep.
They
Nah.
put water in it and all of that in the Jeep?
Yeah, after school. Right after school.
Okay.
Bada bing, bada boop.
And then how was your first experience? What was that
My
like?
throat was cooked. My throat was hella dry. Like I've never felt anything. That was crazy.
And that made you want to do it again?
I'm
just saying,
that's a
it
very
sounded a
interesting
little bit
point.
like
I
you
don't know why.
talked to someone about this.
No, actually, I didn't buy a bong. I wasn't really smoking bongs really probably until 20. I've always smoked
Here comes the
bongs.
truth.
I've always smoked bongs because you don't really have to smoke much weed out of it. I mean, you can grind up some weed and.
So outside of your throat being really dry, you wasn't like, didn't have any physical, additional physical like feelings, like you weren't.
I was way higher after that shit. I was way higher off of that than smoking like a blunt, a joint, or anything like that. So I was like,
you were still
okay.
able to function naturally. Like
Yeah, that's why I
normally.
smoke weed. I wouldn't do nothing that I was incapable of operating.
Good. I'm glad that you put that note
That's
out
why
there
I
because you
don't
have to put
drink.
that PSA.
That's why I don't drink.
Yeah.
But
You don't.
I don't drink.
We went out to dinner the other day. He's like, and then can I get a Shirley Temple? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what the fuck all is in that? Because what I know about Shirley Temple, that joint is just Sprite and grenadine, and that's what you got. And he barely could handle that. You was drunk midway that cup, right?
I don't drink. I do not drink at all. I'm like, no alcohol is hitting my system.
That's good.
None at all.
I wish I taped when you fucking took the little bit of the leftover martini joint that I got.
No.
You were dying. It was literally, if it didn't come out the little jug that they bought to make it cute, it would look like backwash. And he died off of that.
Yeah,
It was
that's
hilarious.
just gross. That's just nasty. I don't really fuck. No alcohol. Shouts out to anyone else that drinks alcohol, but it's
Thank you.
whatever.
Hi, everyone.
But what else do you have going on for 2023, 2024, 2025, so on and so forth?
You want my whole timeline of goals and objectives? So I don't know if you have all that type of time.
We can compartment. We can make it smaller.
What we can do? Clap it up.
Yeah, we can make it a little smaller. We can summarize it. Compartmental. I can't even say I'm high right now. I just fucked that word up so
And I
bad.
feel like if I try, I'm
Fuck,
gonna
I
be fucked up
fucked
because
that
I heard
word
you
up
say
so
it
bad.
fucked up, so it's gonna fuck me up mentally. So now I can't even show you that I'm
fucked
smarter
word
than
up
you.
so
Damn.
Bad. Oh, that's fucking.
And you fucked it up for
terrible.
all of us because no one can say it right because you fucked it up that bad.
I fucked that word up so bad. But what else do you have
Ridiculous.
going on for the rest? I fucked
For the
that
rest
word
of
up.
my life.
I just fucked that word up so bad. 2023, 24, 25.
Just really, honestly, just staying happy. For real. Like, I ain't trying to give you no, like, Erica Badu type answer, but, like, on some shit, I'm just trying to continue working. Like, I work very hard. I produce commercials and digital ads and content and all in that space. I have a lot of clients that, yeah, that's who they are. So you get easily, like, not burnt out because I'm really good at it, so it's kind of second nature, but you get tired and you be wanting to just, like, detach from that swing of industry. So yeah, I'm vacationing a lot. Like, every month I'm trying to, like, go somewhere. Rather if it's like Palm Springs or if it's like Norway, nigga, I'm trying to be out of here. I need the mental breaks. And when I just came back from Belize, like, I always go to South America. That's my favorite portion of the world for travel. I really was like, this That shit is crazy. Like, down to just like how I feel after eating the food. Like, when you go to places where things are fresh and you stay for a while, you come back, like, everything just makes you feel like you just feel the change, like, in your body. Like, this shit is all out. We walking in toxin. Like, everything. You know, that when I first came to California, and I read on a building, which I never seen like this before in my life. It was like, this area may have toxics in the air, so beware. I was like, y'all put a sign on a building that we're in fucking chemical warfare? That's crazy. And that means there's a lot of bullshit in this area. They have to put a signage out in like certain. Have y'all seen that? Yeah, I saw it in my apartment building. That's how I first saw it. I was like, my apartment building is toxic.
There's cancerous things in the walls, all that.
Yeah, like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't want to grow old here. Like, I don't want to, like, and the price of like living here in most countries, like, it's like the more you learn about something and you know the truth, the more matter you are about being in the fucked up reality. That's how I kind of am with like America. So that's what I'm really on. Like, them next years you named is keeping my chickens in remote stage of work, and then fucking traveling the globe and acting like, yeah, I'm in LA or whatever, and figuring out like where to get the fuck up out of here. And New York City's about to be underneath water in like 20 years. Like, what else am I gonna have?
That's true.
What else am I gonna
Jamaica.
have? Jamaica's also below sea level too. The
Ah.
whole world is really kind of like, you know, going to get sucked in.
Be happy while you're still here.
Do I what?
I said just be happy while you're here.
That's the first thing I said. Be happy.
That's the theme. The theme of the interview. Be happy.
Nah, that's kind of corny. I don't like that.
No.
We gotta find something better. Nah, be happy. All this raw shit I gave you, and we're gonna
What
say.
do you want the theme to be? You decide the theme. I'm not
don't-
gonna name the theme. You decide the theme, and then we'll end it. You
It's the
name
pressure.
the theme. You have 10 seconds. 9, 7.
Now, see, now I'm thinking of some gangster shit like New York
Say
State
it.
of Mind, and I don't want to name it that. Like, now I'm about to.
New York State of Mind.
No,
We're
that's
gonna do
that's, No, I don't want that either.
We're gonna go to Illmatic. We're gonna take it to Nas. New York State of Mind.
Truth talks, like real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
You can call it shit. Well, I don't want to say.
Real talk on Bong Talk.
Real talk and Bong Talk.
Real talk on Bong
That's
Talk.
a new segment.
Real talk on Bong Talk.
You have to draft up the paperwork though and let me know, see, read it.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
I mean, if you like what we can see, if you like what we can possibly do, leave it in the chat. That's how you get the engagement.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Real talk on Bong Talk. Izzy absolutely in the building.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming
Luke,
on.
Lucifer, Soda Sote. Let me leave this man alone.
Nappy 2000. We're going to say that name. Nappy 2000. Y'all be smooth.
Forever.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Bong Talk. You can either watch or stream this on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And also, thank you to all the sponsors of the show.